and it says, we're live. Now we're live. Buenos días, mi gente. Thank you for joining me this morning. It is Sunday, Divine Sunday. Today, we are graced because we're going to have the company of Hector Rodriguez Gonzalez. He's the creator of El Peso Hero. And I would like you guys to help me to welcome Hector to my house.
Hola, thanks for having me. Pleasure, un placer. Buenos días.
Buenos días, Hector, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. Thank you. It's a bad time right now. It's been on the show.
I know. We've been trying to do this since we met, right? How long have we been trying to do this? Since we met in Rick Nigeria's writing class.
Like, was it like late last year, earlier this year? Let's see. Pre-COVID, I think it was pre-COVID. Yeah.
No, it was way pre-COVID. Imagine, because I had some business to go to attend to California, and I couldn't go because all this. So what are you being up to? What's going on, Hector? Tell us.
No, we've been, busy, gracias a Dios, con buena salud, ¿verdad? En este momento y además trabajando y luchando, working and creating new, we're having new stories are coming up for Peso Hero too.
Yes.
We're excited for that. And so it's been all hands on deck, como le dicen.
Sí. So, déjame preguntarte, do you mind if we go back and forth in Spanish and English, or how are you doing?
Totalmente, yeah.
Right? Spanglish. Very good. Spanglish, right? That's what we talk, right? Exactly. So let me ask you, because I'm very curious, how did you get into, at what age did you realize that you wanted to create this character or any comic book character?
It's the really neat about, comic books is that it's such a universal medium, ¿verdad? Las historietas. Y living in the border, I really had, being in the borderland world, it's always been, because right now I'm based in Dallas area.
Dallas.
Right. And so being raised, born on the border, it's a blessing on itself because you have you have the access to both Mexican, Latino, entertainment, culture, and then you have the American. And so you have this bridge, right? Como es un puente entre los mundos, totalmente, ¿verdad? Y yo de chiquito siempre me gustaban, pues, las películas de los luchadores, El Santo, Mil Máscaras, Blue Demon, Nieblas. Y esos héroes siempre me llamaban la atención porque eran héroes con mucha acción y mucho entretenimiento. They're very exciting, greater than life, ¿verdad? Y además hablaban español, ¿verdad? Hablaban español, escuchaban la misma música, la comida, la cultura, ¿verdad? Todo eso. Y eso es lo que muchas veces falta, especialmente de lo que estamos en nuestros héroes, los héroes americanos que a muchos niños latinos les llama la atención, ¿verdad? Sí. Hombre Araña, Batman, Superman, los grupos, los X-Men y todo. Sí, Wonder Woman, sí, y eso sí que Wonder Woman era parte argentina del show, ¿verdad?
Hello.
I said,
I
she's one of
believe
ours.
thinking she was real. Let me tell you, I really believe
Carter, yeah,
maybe
she
age
was.
11 that she was real.
We
You
claim
know,
her. Yeah,
Linda Carter. Yes.
yeah, we claim her. She's one of us. No, ¿verdad? Y personajes como Wonder Woman, que ella era un icon positivo, very positive icon, especially for um, women and women's rights and empowerment y todo eso. And there's been very few modern day Latino superheroes, right? I mean,
Superheroes.
vemos como podemos hablar sobre el impacto que tuvo Black Panther,
Oh,
¿verdad? La
absolutely.
película es
Yes, I remember that.
poderosa, yeah. That
Goes to
impact
show
was
you.
it was huge positive impact in the uh, the African American community, the Afro Latino community, también es porque you honor the culture, ¿verdad? Entonces
Yes.
siempre quería ser un héroe que would do that, honor our community, honor our culture through a comic book.
Yes. Yeah, that it could relate to your life experience there in the border. I
Yeah,
was listening to you when you were sharing that you grew up in the border with the best. Actually, I think you got the best of both worlds. It's just one person, the superhero right here that I'm talking to, that got the culture intelligence to help the rest of America to be the real superheroes that we are. Is you, because you actually live close to the border, so you got to experience the American way of life, bringing your cultural way of life too with your ethnic identity. I
yeah,
think that's pretty awesome. uh, when I
sí,
was your age, I remember El Santo. I grew up with Lucha Libre. So
sí, sí, sí.
los comic books, I pay attention to them around 9 and 10, I remember. But I think early age, honestly, it's funny that I'm saying this. Papi,
Yeah,
allá
no,
arriba en el cielo. But hey, que en lucha libre no había novela, no había película, no había
sí,
nada. Era la hora de la lucha libre. Y él nos
la,
ponía a pelear. Él nos ponía a pelear. That's how I
sí,
think, because I'm one of 6 brothers. I'm the only girl.
ajá.
I
Wow.
have
So
a blended family. Yes, so could you imagine? Now there's
you actually
people.
were lucha
Now
libre.
you understand a little bit about me. So
Sí,
I remember being like a 4 or 5-year-old, and he will sick me, como me echaba a pelear con los varones, con mis hermanos,
sí,
mira,
sí,
dale,
you
y
have
lo
to.
coges y le das así, tú lo quieres tomar duro, mira lo que me decía, mírale el medio porque ahí está la punta, y se le mete una patada en los sacos y ya.
Ya, y fuera.
Pero el santo, lucha libre, eso eran mis ídolos. I think it was around 8 that I discovered the comics book.
Yeah,
Y empezó con el de Wonder Woman, luego fue Archie, Pepito y
sí,
Luis. You remember that by any chance?
yeah,
Pepito
yeah.
y Luis,
Sí,
¿no?
sí, 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 yeah. There's a lot of history in Latin American, las historietas
Yeah.
latinoamericanas.
No los encuentro, Hector. I've been looking for them. But those were Tom and Jerry. You remember those? No, but you're
Sí,
30
sí,
years
sí, yeah.
old. Pero, I mean, you have an entry in that word because that's what you do. Pero no, ya no se ven. Ve, como te dije, encontré estos dos. Que eran deliciosos, míralo. Robin Hood, que me recordó mucho el Peso Hero, y este también me encantó, The American Way. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, total, yeah.
I would love the only thing missing in this thing, Hector, you know what it is? Cultural intelligence. Why? Because look at all the people. They're just
Yeah,
reflecting.
algo cajones.
Exactly. So where did you get this inspiration with this superhero? What really said, I'm gonna make
No,
this superhero? Who was your role model? What inspired you? Where'd you get the idea?
pues
I know
no,
you
sí,
gave me a
mira,
little bit of your background, but tell us from the beginning.
no, totalmente. Es una mezcla, ¿verdad? Es una mezcla de muchas personas y también eh, pues de mis abuelitas también y mi mamá, ¿verdad?
Oh,
Totalmente.
my abuelita.
Porque si yo me acuerdo de chiquito viendo las novelas con mi mamá, ¿verdad? Y siempre estábamos allí en las novelas y es parte de la historia, ¿no? Porque los personajes, la secuencia, the hooks, the turns, all that. That's the world, the story of Ignacio, also known as the Peso Hero. The stories, the comics play like a novela, like a
You say
Mexican.
his name. I'm sorry. You say his
Ignacio.
name.
Ignacio.
Ignacio.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
Did
his.
you any reason why you picked that name?
Nachito es porque, sí, una nota histórica. Uh, I was born in Eagle Pass, pero the sister city of Eagle Pass is Piedras Negras, Coahuila, Piedras Negras.
Sí, sí.
And it was in Piedras Negras where there was a chef named Ignacio, and he created nachos. He created nachos.
That's funny.
It's true. Yeah, nachos were created.
You know why I asked? Because I thought Ignacio, I'm thinking, you see how people, there's always good to know the story behind. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Ignacio, I love that name. It's a very old Spanish name. Pero yo pensé que relacionado a esta historia, it was ignite, like igniting. Ignacio, and go and fight and defend the defenseless.
But cool. It's historic. It's something, like you said, it's an old Spanish name también. Y sabes que muchos creciendo, cada persona tiene un apodo, nicknames. Everybody had a nickname.
Spanish culture, yes.
¿Verdad?
Si no te dan un apodo, no existes. If you don't get a nickname
exactly.
in the Spanish culture in your family, you don't exist.
Sí, yo tengo varios. Teto, Hectorito, Hectorito. They still call me by, those, there was.
I think that's great, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yes.
My father used to call me Bunny because Yvonne, once in a blue moon, but it was mostly, this is funny, when he would sit and watch las novelas, las lucha libres, and sometimes he'll watch novelas with Mama.
Both.
Exactly, both. Yeah, because they were back to back kind of thing, that was prime time TV. Claro, Lucha Libre was the biggest reality TV show in Latin America, and then in Spain, all over the world. Pero mi papá me decía cuando estaba viendo las lucha libre, Bonnie, Bonnie, come here, sweet Bonnie. Ven acá, Bonnie. Bonita, Bonnie. ¿Qué quiere? Traemos una cerveza. Sí. Para ver la lucha libre. No sé por qué no le pedía a los varones, yo era la que le tenía que ir a buscar la cerveza, pero a mí me daba igual con tal de que él me sentara en la falda y jugara conmigo y mira el santo, mira, tú lo ves así, le haces la llave. Hombre, habían hasta llaves de pelea, como la llave de los maneuvering. You remember that just came to me, Hector, I'm sorry. I remember the lingo, you're probably more familiar than me. Pero nosotros de niños hablábamos la llave, tírale esta llave.
The headlock.
The headlock, that was the lingo. Y mi papá me hablaba así, él me decía, mira, tú lo coges así, le metes esta otra llave por aquí. Sí. Con mi hermano que apenas tenía un hermano que se llamaba Ángel Luis, o se llama todavía, porque para mí él todavía existe, él ahora en el espíritu cambió de forma, pero él murió este pasado octubre en el 30, and this coming 30th is going to be his first year anniversary, and he used to be my superhero. Con él era que nosotros jugábamos, ¿no? Y en la vida, you want to know something, Hector? He was so fond of comic book. That's why I wanted to do this. In a way, it's an honor to my brother.
Yeah.
He was a lifer. Since little since we grew up, he would watch the comic books, La Lucha Libre, y luego llegó G.I. Joe, the G.I. Joe guy. Remember? Back in the 70s, there used to be actual cyclide Barbies.
Yeah.
Do you remember those that you can feel the hair and the beard?
My father's G.I. Joe, Los Grandes. But
Your father, you see? My age. Los chiquititos. No, esos no son los verdaderos.
Yeah, right. You are.
So, me siendo, Spanish families, that they're a little conservative with young girls, especially. I always wanted to get the can for the Barbie, and my mother will not get me the can. But I got the Barbies, But for my brothers, the two oldest brothers, they got the... How can I say? They got their G.I. Joe with their beards, and oh my God, I discovered paradise. Meaning, when they're not home, I can use their G.I. Joe, and there be Barbie's boyfriend. I had the camper and everything. Oh my God, I'm tato.
Wow.
his nickname Tato, Angel Luis Tato. He will come home and he will find me. Sometimes he was playing outside. We're talking the age of 10 to 11, Hector. Those ages, the very age group that you're teaching right now. And he will come home and find me playing with the G.I. Joe's boyfriend for party. It was mayhem, chaos, hell broke loose. ¿Y qué sucede? Para cortar esto todo rapidito. When later on, like maybe 20-something years later, I can't remember exactly. I think it was maybe 1994. I remember now. I went to Puerto Rico to visit my family for the holidays. And I always used to bring presents, gift for everyone. And so it happened that year, if I'm not mistaken, Mattel hizo una special edition of the G.I. Joe, el big one. They brought him back. Yes. And I went and bought one. I remember they were quite expensive for the time. They were like $25. So I said, I got to get this G.I. Joe to Tato. Hector, when I got to Puerto Rico, we're sitting in my mother's living room. Everybody got a little something, and I couldn't wait. To me, he was the most that I wanted to see his reaction. And he's looking the bar, because he look almost like if you look at a wrap, it could have been a type, una corbata. Yo decía, hay otra corbata a lo mejor. Y yo le decía, ay, pero tú eres hermoso, te vas a ver guapo con la cara, hay otra corbata. Pero él vacilando, porque él vestía todo el tiempo con corbata. Porque él era un detective, él era policía, él era militar. So él siempre estaba to the 90s, así como Pedro Navaja, como decía la canción. So cuando él abrió esa caja y vio ese muñeco de G.I. Joe, él era un hombre grande, fuertudo. Yo soy chiquita, 5'3", yo creo que él era como 5'9" o 5'10", 11. Next to me, I looked like an aunt. Y cuando él vio ese muñeco, las lágrimas se le salieron, porque él sabía la razón por la cual yo le estaba regalando. Sorry, that just came into me. I just wanted to share that my story.
Right, y eso es importante, ¿verdad? We have our idols, ¿verdad? Or people we look up to, ¿verdad? Our greater than life heroes in real life.
Y tú me dices que tu papá tenía uno también, dijiste, que tu papá
tenía historietas de Sergeant Rock, de Capitán América, creciendo, ¿verdad? Porque realmente uno no pudo alcanzar los G.I. Joes porque sí, como dijiste, they were expensive back in the day, ¿verdad? Y además tienen que ir a como San Antonio, a las tiendas grandes para comprarlo. Pero sí, tenía acceso a historietas y creciendo, ¿verdad? Y además estuvo en el ejército. He was in the military too. I come from a military family, ¿verdad? I had great uncles that were in the military, cousins y todo eso.
Hector, let me ask you something. You mentioned, before we ask, I know your teacher, for all you know that are watching, este superhero, o Peso Hero, es también un maestro. He's actually an educator. And what is the grade that you teach?
Ahorita en este momento, 5º grado.
5th grade. Oh my God, they must think you are really the alter ego impersonification itself, teaching them the class. People, mi gente, si quieren enviar a los niños a la escuela a aprender cosas bien buenas, mándenlo a coger clases con el superhero. This is fun, Hector. I think it's hilarious.
Right.
Because 5th grader, they're so Peter Pan-like. They must really idolize you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's they're more interested. They're interested in the art and how I create the books. Más que el arte, ¿verdad? Cómo se hace, porque they themselves are interested in it. Y además, cuando me ven en Univision o Telemundo en español, when they see me in Spanish language TV or on internet, and so they get a sense of inspiration and saying like, whoa, how's he making books? I think I can make books too, and so they ask me, because it's very, realmente soy maestro, como les digo, I'm your teacher, your mentor, ¿verdad? And so when we have downtime, they ask me questions and I share the connections. And And that's y lo que es, ¿verdad? It's about building relationships, siendo
Yeah.
maestro, haciendo esas relaciones y ayudar la comunidad. I mean, that's
Yes.
what
Now,
it's
now
all
let me
about.
ask you something. Now, in your student, in your class, the gender, I would say, would you say the boys or are the girls or the girls, or are they equally
Oh, both,
interested?
both,
Both. That's
completely.
great.
Uh, I have a huge fan que she knew she was since she was little, entonces cuando ya la tengo, she's in my classroom, and there are other kids, like they ask, oh, did you know Mr. Rodriguez makes comics? Yo, did you see him on TV? Did you see him? And she's like, oh yeah, it's Mr. Rodriguez. He's famous. Yeah, he makes the Peso Hero. Yeah, you didn't know that? Like it wasn't a big. Like she's been
That's
aware of
funny.
it for quite some time. Entonces, yeah,
Bravo.
yeah, he does that.
Qué
Este,
chula. No, I
and yeah,
think.
she's a creator in her own right. También.
Oh wow! So she created a comic book, though, a
Yeah,
series,
I have a lot of students that create their own books, and
their own
you know,
books.
mhm.
Wow, Hector! Listen, you can create a whole army of comic book, fans they can actually create their own
Well,
narratives.
yeah, there's actually there's a great structure towards, and it's an art. It's an art form,
Yeah.
and it's art totalmente. There's so many things that go by in writing. I mean, it's the writing piece, escribiendo las historietas, es algo totalmente, incluso it's an art, just as a writer, you're writing a story, the structure, the characters y todo eso, ¿verdad? Y that's one component. Then you have the art piece. You try to tell a story with that. Entonces very few people can do both at the same time, ¿verdad? Pero
Sí.
los niños pueden hacer los dos. I mean,
A
they
esa edad.
produce books, ¿verdad? Les digo, no, just do it. Because when I was creating a Peso Hero, I never waited for somebody to give me permission or give me an approval, or, I just went ahead and did it. And that's what anybody that inspires to do something, ¿verdad? You do it, ¿verdad? You don't have to wait for anybody's approval.
No, exacto.
¿Verdad? Lo haces y, ¿verdad? It's the
Yo creo que es bien importante. Yeah, and es como tú dices, que si tú quieres hacer algo, you don't need anybody approvals and permission. If you're listening to this live broadcast, if you're a child, an adult, male, female, whoever, what you might call it, whatever you want to be, you don't need to have anyone to give you the permission for you to go pursue your dream. Just feel and make sure that they're coming from the heart, that it's not an ego-driven kind of need. And if you feel that it's coming from your heart, that's your connection to your divine, to your creativity, to your gene, and go for it. Don't wait. Don't ask for permission. Just go for it. Check out this young man here. I'm so impressed. I think I was more excited than you, Hector.
No,
I actually was gonna dress as a superhero. I do have a custom. It's in my storage. I would have fun. It's a come dress as a superhero.
You're too humble. You're too humble. You've been advocating a lot in the Northeast with the communities. You're your own superhero. Totally.
Well, I just love people, Hector. And honestly, it's because why? Because they're the divine in me. I mean, you are not an extension of me. We're the same spirit. We're the same little clones of the same universal creativity and genius and love. And how could I be any different? I mean, even when I'm being in my ego sometimes, and perhaps I'm not being the walking in grace that we try to do every day, I get pissed at me. I'm like, you know better. So it's like,
we're not perfect, ¿verdad? We do the best we can under the circumstances, especially now, ¿verdad? Con todo lo que está pasando, que es muy duro, muy difícil, ¿verdad? Que hay mucho odio, ¿verdad? Y pues tenemos que ser lo mejor, que ser positivos, right? We have to be positive, and this is where, like, there's a lot of artists that do fan art, and that respectfully, it's its own art form también, and DeviantArt también, that's a great tool to showcase art, I'm very familiar with DeviantArt. There's a lot of great artists.
Yes. No, it's funny. And I wanted, it's really quick. Like, do you get, of course, obviously, do you get a lot of your material from all your life's experience of the things that you observe in the border, the histories, like you said, that your grandma telling you,
Sí.
like the novelas? Oh my God, the novelas are such a
Oh,
great
oh, yeah.
library
Ah, no, sí, mira,
reference material.
este, una de las grandes artistas mexicanas, María Félix.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know, María
I
Félix, greater than life, matriarch of the golden age of Mexican
I
cinema,
watched all their movies in Telemundo, 1975. In
Yeah,
Puerto Rico, there was not that American broadcasting. There was, but it was all enlatados, le decían, programas enlatados. So they would come dub. We didn't watch them in English, los
sí, sí.
americanos, pero los que venían de México, de Latinoamérica, pues por eso esa era la cultura que nosotros nos identificamos también, porque crecimos
Sí,
viendo todas las películas de México, España, Chile, toda
sí,
Latinoamérica. Pero México y España eran las dos economías fuertes del film industry en
sí, las,
Latinoamérica, as you know. Yeah.
las producciones grandes de televisión
Exacto.
y todo eso.
Entonces, María Félix era en mi casa, olvídate, mi padre era, olvídate, esa era su novia, según él, María
Yeah.
Félix. Entre otras, la Iris Chacón, all
Right.
these women.
Yes, totalmente, yeah. Entonces, es importante honorar esos personajes, and I do it, and I give honor for those greater than life characters in the golden age of Mexican cinema, and so like La Patrona, which
La
is
patrona, yes.
matriarchs in the Peso Hero comics, and she's my inspiration for, I inspired some of Maria Felix into her,
Sí, sí.
even some of her dicho sayings. They're in the book también, there's like Easter eggs there. Um, and so and I draw from my own, inspirational backgrounds, my own backgrounds, as well as some the great things about our culture that, and this is, there I'll put a Tigres del Norte lyrics, sprinkle some hints, of, even though growing up, I never listened to norteño or banda or tejano. I was into rock music, the bass there,
It's okay. No.
rock music, yeah, rock, de todo, ¿verdad?
Mm-hmm.
Pero I learned to respect the music from our world, ¿verdad? Porque there's a lot of history, a lot of stories, ¿verdad? Porque, ¿sabes? Les digo, el Peso Hero, yeah, he listens to norteño y banda y todo eso, ¿verdad? Es el mundo de él.
Yo tengo una sobrina que es la hija del hermano mío que se murió, que ella estuvo un tiempo, tuvo un compañero que era Mexican American. So, cuando el niño nació, vino mi familia de Puerto Rico y yo bajé de acá a Nueva York we met in Phoenix. So we drove like a caravan, 2-3 cars with the Mexican family, the Puerto Rican family. Together, we drove to cross the border because I think they were close to the border in Yuma, I don't recall well. Pero ahí fue, aunque tú no lo creas, por primera vez, como yo vivo por acá por el norte, que escuché la música norteña, lo del band, eso, yo no sabía lo que era eso. Y fuimos a un lugar a festejar, a comer, qué sé yo, y escuché esa música. Y yo dije, ay, ¿qué música es eso? Me gusta. Y me dice, don't you know band music? Y yo, no, ¿qué sé? ¿Cómo es que le dicen? Que brincan así como, like porca. Did I lose you? Oh, no. Hold on just a second. I think I lost Hector. All right, let's go find him. This is funny. That happens sometimes, I guess. Pues mi gente, gracias por estar conmigo esta mañana. Estaba teniendo una conversación amena con Héctor y por alguna razón se me perdió. Lo voy a tratar de traer otra vez enseguida. Por favor, bear with me. Ah, míralo, aquí ya llegó.
That's my computer.
No worries.
That's the thing. La cosa, you need time. I need time. I have a new power, power supply para la computadora because it needs more power and so there's not a lot of power, entonces it froze, entonces, pero good thing I'm able to restart it like that.
Wow. No, mine, when it does, I forget it. I'm glad that it happened to you, not to me, because we wouldn't
No,
know that.
porque I saw, tengo otro, porque en mi estudio tengo dos pantallas. I'm looking at you,
Yes.
then I have the big one, then I have my computer, and so that's it. I also multitask when creating art, pero one good thing about my computer is that it's really fast.
Look, you left and they were, oh my God, he'll be back. They were looking for you. Where the Hector went? Superhero. He went to change. He went to change to the calendar.
No, pero yeah, you draw from greater than life characters in the books. You honor your culture, the history, your background.
And you said you have children, don't you? That you're a parent.
Tengo una niña.
¿Y qué edad tiene? ¿Qué edad tiene?
Va a cumplir 4 mañana.
Mañana, otra libriana, bravo. We need more Libras in the world.
Ella es
a love sign.
Fuerte, digo.
Cumple 4, dijiste, 4
sí,
mañana.
4 y le gusta muchas cosas. Ella le
does she like the superhero thing, like Wonder Woman? And does she know?
Ahorita pues le gusta lo que le gusta normalmente a los niños, ¿verdad? Es el Paw Patrol y ahorita y entre mis hermanos somos muchos pues somos artistas de diferentes, ¿verdad? Pero nos gustan mucho los videojuegos, como we're big gamers, ¿verdad? Y anda con se le entra a los juegos con nosotros y todo, ¿no? She's very diverse in her likes, ¿verdad?
You know, Hector, these kids that are coming into this world lately, they're so far advanced in awareness, in consciousness, like me, my mom, and you were. And I'm sure that you observing your 4-year-old girl, you can probably see that. Because I see it in my grandkids.
You're right. It's don't underestimate them totalmente, ¿verdad? And even they're really tech savvy. I mean, they're tech they're fluent in technology, ¿verdad? Totalmente, they're very fluent in technology, and and so I think it's only something that we'll see furthermore in the next generations as they're born in this world of information access.
It's almost like, I would say that even when the female is pregnant, and the child is in fetus stage, they're still absorbing everything around them, the sound, that. Yeah. I think because of the times we're more exposed to more activity around us, that's going to have an impact in the fetus in the stomach, because they're processing and absorbing that information too. So I think that has something to do when they're born. I have it too.
There's a lot of things we don't know, ¿verdad? I mean, science is only so advanced, ¿verdad? And we've been in this world for not so long, ¿verdad? Compared to the greater span of things, ¿verdad? Entonces, digo, count your blessings siempre, ¿verdad?
Yes, I have like my 2-year-old grandson. He's going to be, actually, what's today? On the 20th, he lives in Japan. I was supposed to be in Japan right now.
In Japón. Yeah, that's
no nos dejan entrar. Department of State. My son is keeping me up to date. Me said, Mom, I'm sorry. It just kind of just come in.
Yeah.
I just send him his presents through Amazon. Yeah. Like Thomas the Train. So I found all this Thomas the Train stuff, like
los americanos no los dejan ir.
No, mira, no nos quieren donde quieren.
¿Verdad? Yeah. Pero no hablan de eso, ¿verdad?
Estamos, mira. Y que creo que las noticias, según escuché anoche, en Europa ahorita mismo el COVID está arrasando otra vez. So no se puede, we're standby right now. Pero ¿qué te quería relacionar ligerito? Algo que me diste de la niña. Estos niños de hoy día que les dicen que si son cristales, índigo. I don't understand much about that, but they got like indigo, crystal, because of the level of consciousness they come. They're like more mature than you and I and our parents were, right? So I got this grandson. He's going to turn 2 years old el día 20. Es un libriano también. Half American, half Japanese, tiene de todo. Latino, irlandés, francés, Japanese, the American thing going on. But he's adorable. His name is Juno. But what is so impressive about this child, just like many other parents and grandparents probably are saying today about their kids, is that consciousness, so aware. He's only turning 2. And I'm telling you, Hector, it's too bad I cannot show it here because I'm learning to manage the StreamYard. Hello, StreamYard, I need help. I'm in their group and I send the message.
Yeah.
I need like a 5-year-old to come and help me. Those are the people that I learn quickly. But there's my son teaching him the alphabet. And he sent me this video where they're in the bathtub. They're taking a bath together. And he's writing the alphabet in the wall of the shower. They got those crayons. Yeah. Japanese bathrooms are very interesting. If you've never been in Japan, you should go.
Oh, it's, la cosa que I have such respect towards the Japanese history, Japanese culture.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
Yes.
Totalmente, the kaiju, the Tokatsu world, el mundo de Ultraman y Godzilla. Siempre de chiquito me llamaba la atención.
Have you ever been in Japan?
No, I have not. No, yes, it's one of my...
Vámonos, yo tengo que ir a visitar a mi hijo. Vámonos, yo te llevo. I've been in Japan a couple of times and it's a hoot. I am telling you, Japanese people, they're great.
Sí, no, I have a few
friends. Son bien infantiles. Sí. I'm not kidding. That's why you see a lot of memes y todos esos caracteres que ellos... Y me encanta porque tienen una cultura así como que... Yo la veo como que bien inocente en ese sentido. Very childlike. I love it. I really do. You go there and you feel like, I'm a little too mature for this.
Pero sí,
I love it.
y lo que ves, muchas de las historias, a lot of their stories, their characters, it's a story of them being innocent, being kids, and growing up.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And also you can almost say that when you look the differences between the Japanese, the manga, the stories, and then the American comics, the way there's a reason why American comics are not as big in Japan as they are in the West, in Mexico or in Europe. It's because keep in mind that in America, the good guy beats the evil guy, beats the guy, either, beats him, kills him, that's an American comic, In the Japanese hero stories, the villain becomes the friend.
Oh.
Right. And so, and Batman is not as big in Japan because it's a individual is Batman. In Japan, it's more of a group.
It's the collective well-being mentality.
For the collective group. So you have groups maybe like the X-Men that are a lot better in Japan because they all work for the common good together.
Yes, exactly.
But Batman, Superman, solos, nah. And then they beat or they kill their bad guys. Nah. Well, actually, they don't kill their bad otros. Like Wolverine will kill his bad guys. No, pero como Goku, Son Goku, Dragon Ball,
mm-hmm.
Él, he befriends bad guys. His bad guys become his friends.
Right.
¿Verdad? Es la diferencia entre las culturas.
No, y es la cultura, exactamente. That's unbeknown to us, we're actually just talking, giving a little bit of that cultural intelligence, como los Japanese people approach this same medium that we here in American approach. And you can say, Americans, we have a very mindset of individuality. One horse, one man. Suspension, one horse, one man. Who you go? Take a wagon and claim your state. In Japan, it's totally different. What you said, everybody thinks about the well-being of the group.
That's the collective mindset, right? Like como, and that's why one of the stories que acaba de hacer así tengo una copia. Una de las historias, el Peso Hero, The Essentials. ¿Verdad?
A couple of those for my kids, actually 4.
It was a response towards COVID, right? You talk about the collective good. Unfortunately, it's one of the reasons why in the United States, we had such a issue with COVID because we're very individual. We live in a very individualistic society, and so one of my responses, I had some fans in March asking, well, how is the Peso Hero going to respond towards COVID, the COVID epidemic that started to ravage the world? Well, the biggest thing that Peso Hero could do is
get the mask.
Get the mask, and help our essential workers, right? And
Absolutamente.
In this case, in este caso, it's our farm workers.
Yes, absolutamente. Those are, it's funny. It's amazing, like you said, because here in America, we have such a what I will refer to as a self-centric mindset. We tend sometimes to forget that together is better, that the collective of the good, the health of a nation is the character of its people. So if we're not really showing empathy or caring about our fellow man, how are you going, or we expect that you're going to have a society in where harmony is going to flow and everything is going to be like a utopia, whatever that you want to be. But it's because we tend to be, our collective cultural intelligence is, like you said, we're extremely insular. We're very independent, they're very individual.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing wrong for that, but in some cases it becomes a weakness. It's
everything about moderation. Life best happen in moderation. But for example, I love what you're just doing, what El Peso Hero is doing for us, educating that, okay, you don't care about wearing your mask, fine. It's okay if you don't want to take care of yourself. We respect that. It's your decision. But if you're a good person, a caring human being, and you're empath, and you understand that perhaps other people are not as healthy or stronger or have a better immune system, then you should show the humanity and the compassion to say, hey, I'm a tough guy, I'm a tough woman, but I need to be concerned about Hector. I need to be concerned about Maria, Jose, Pepe, Pedrito. And the most important thing, this guy, I love what he's doing, the mass and the immigrants, because early on when this COVID-19 started, we forgot. We are so dismissive of the people that are actually picking the food that we're sitting every day to eat, that we were not paying attention. That cannot happen. This is the food supply. If we stop moving the food supply, what's going to happen?
No, la sociedad se comienza a quebrar.
No, we need these people. We need them more than actually they need us, because these people work 3-4 jobs. I'm telling you, when I was a case manager for the community through Catholic Charity with Hispanic Outreach Services, I will go to visit many of my families that will have 2 or 3 kids, 2 parents working, no documents to be residing legally in this country. However, they will be able to work under the table because there were many businesses out there that they were willing to hire them because they needed the help. Plus, they work for very cheap labor. They're hard worker. They made so many businesses in this country to create their capital to become rich. And all they want is just to raise their family and give them an education. And that's it. They're not really taking anything from us, because let me tell you something. I'm a very blessed America. Raise your hand. Those are lining up to clean bathrooms. Raise those hands who wants to come and clean your house and be a nanny. So come on, people, let's be real. So the most important thing that the superhero is doing, the fact that he's encouraging mask wearing, because if you don't care about yourself, that's fine. We respect that. But let's be compassionate and think about others.
Me gusta Humberto, que sí, la unión es mejor.
Pues claro.
Especialmente entre estos retos que tenemos, ¿verdad?
Héctor, te voy a hacer una pregunta. A silly question that I think is funny. Si tú fueras una crayola, ¿qué color tú serías en la caja de crayola?
Buena pregunta.
I just asked Hector that if he were a crayon in a crayon box, what color of crayon he would be. I hate saying this again, but no, it just seems so trite. I don't know. I say blue. I don't know.
Air, blue
That's
air.
great. Está bien. El
Yes.
blue, actually, I'll give you what
Water, very fluid, ¿verdad?
el,
Fluid, formless.
el cielo, el mar. En
Yeah.
el mundo místico, el ojo índigo, el azul, es el tercer ojo. So, that's a good color choice. Y de lo más seguro, tú eres una persona bien intuitiva, ¿are you?
Perdón, muy
Eres
creativa.
una persona intuitiva.
Intuitiva, yes.
¿Verdad que sí?
Sí.
Blue. So, cuéntanos un poquito, porque ya sé que estamos llegando a la clausura del programa. Cuéntanos un poquito de los proyectos que tú tienes en el futuro, si te estás en libertad de compartirlo. I just asked Hector to tell us about any projects that he has upcoming.
No, sí, totalmente. Mira, y sabes que déjame ver si puedo compartir ver que tengo aquí. I'm actually just for you an exclusive, ¿verdad? Yes.
Gracias. Un honor. I'm honored. What a privilege. Go ahead.
No, ¿verdad? Y el próximo año vamos a celebrar 10 años del Peso Hero, so it's going to be, right?
So you're going to throw a party? Hopefully.
Right.
Red carpet, right? Red carpet party. Look, I already got the red. This is my cape, by the way. This is my cape. So tell me about it, because I'm ready to go. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. And so next year we're going to be releasing a new story arc of books. Le llamamos ¿qué le enseñamos? You can see here. Let me see if I can share.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh, my God. I love you, Hector. This is great, mi gente. Cuando usted invita a un invitado a su casa a charlar y el invitado pues sabe usar esto mejor que yo. StreamYard, you're listening? I know. Funny, Hector. That's great.
No, so this new story arc is going to be called El Peso Hero Sicario War. ¿Verdad?
Con los colombianos y los carteles de México, ¿cómo es la cosa?
No, entonces va a ser algo de pura acción. Vamos a terminar esta historia que hemos comenzado ya casi 10 años del Peso Hero, so we're going to finish the story arc that we started 10 years. Yeah, let me see if I can lower. Oh. And so
you're hired.
It's actually a special cover done by Adriel, un artista mexicano. Entonces, si vemos las banderas, la mexicana y la americana, ¿verdad? Hablando sobre esa mezcla, ¿verdad? Esa frontera también. Y ese Sicario War sale el próximo año. Estamos pensando de tener un Kickstarter para comenzar con las órdenes, to order books, to have those pre-orders para Sicario War. And right now we're planning it's a 3-book story arc. And it's the last book of that story arc will be a great pivot point, un brinco para la nueva historia que viene del Peso Hero. Porque vamos a terminar la historia que comenzamos. We're going to finish the original story. Something with 10 years, about who is Ignacio, his family, a lot of the mysteries surrounding Ignacio. Everything will be revealed in this.
Como Batman, ¿te acuerdas? I remember the Batman thing.
Yeah. In this case, everything's going to be out in the open. And we're going to look into how the characters are going to react. So,
oh my God.
All this changes.
Holy moly.
Entonces va a estar bueno.
No sé, me tienes interesada. ¿Sabes una cosa? Que en el early 90s, tú tienes la radionovela esta del Peso.
Sí.
Pues, uy, ¿qué pasó aquí? Ñami. Hold on, people. La. Ahí, ¿por qué se puso así? Oh, se me fue Héctor otra vez. Our superhero went to change his costume. He's coming right back. So stay tuned. Oh, that's too funny. So, mi gente, estamos hablando con el creador del Peso Hero. El Peso Hero es un carácter de un comic book, el cual ayuda a los inmigrantes y a las personas en la frontera defendiendo de todas las atrocidades pues, que existen en la frontera hoy día con la población inmigrante y todo eso. There you are.
That was my bad. Actually,
I was hoping that you were going to come back dressed up. That would be like, there's a superhero.
No, the funny thing is, I did do a magazine cover dressed as a Peso Hero, a little corny.
Yeah.
If you Google it, you see me dressed as a Peso Hero for a magazine.
Oh, I got.
Yeah, it's a little corny, but it was fun. Anyways.
Wow.
So look for the new story arc next year. También it's a follow, and we'll have that Kickstarter, the crowdfunding for the new book. También.
Ooh. Keep me apprised on that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna be sending because I want to get a few of the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
But you how do you say, sign them for me for my kids? Send them to them. Say there's a superhero. This guy's. This guy's going to be greater than Batman.
Gracias.
He's already greater than Batman.
Oh,
pero, ¿sabes una cosa que quería compartir contigo? Que a lo mejor tú en tu tiempo no lo sabes porque eres más joven que yo de 38 años, pero en los early 90s, no lo vas a creer, pero el departamento de aquí del estado de Nueva York de salud hacía, y esto era para los inmigrantes. So it's funny that you're doing the same thing, pero... Perdóname, lo que ellos estaban haciendo es que ellos empezaron a utilizar en español radionovelas para educar a la gente de las situaciones de lo que estaba pasando en la frontera, en el border, en cuestiones de salud, las condiciones deplorables cuando ellos vivían.
Wow.
Te voy a dar un bureau, el nombre por si algún día te da curiosidad, porque ellos tienen esto en file. Maybe they don't do it now.
Sí.
Part of the bureau that it was called Bureau of Community Relations, Health Promotion and Community Relations para el Departamento de Salud. Y una de las cosas que ellos hacían como inteligencia cultural era crear lo que tú hiciste. No como tú, pero sí, ellos creaban estas novelas, unas historias. Todo era radio, no había graphics. So people would have to listen to these PSA. Eran como Public Service Announcement, and they were miniature clips. Y eran novelas.
Wow.
En español y en inglés, bilingüe, pero eran todo de lo que hablaban, lo que le pasaba, lo que el Peso Hero habla, las cosas que...
Sí,
todos los retos que los inmigrantes encuentran trabajando como migrant farm worker y todo eso.
Well, that's impressive. Yeah, I'd like to check that out.
So, Hector, I think we're at the end of this. Listen, I know you have to get back to your Sunday and your family. So, aprecio mucho que hayas venido, que hayas pasado. Me hubiera gustado recibirte con unas buenas enchiladas, unas carnes asadas, una buena cerveza. Medalla. Pero la próxima.
Sí, totalmente.
Te agradezco mucho que hayas venido.
Un honor.
¿Hay algo? Is there something else that you would like to share before?
No, just check it out. Follow Peso Hero, RealBravoComics.com, en las redes sociales también, for all the news, all the articles y todo eso, or just Google el Peso Hero, a ver qué noticias nos dan más, ¿verdad? You never know. Entonces, vamos adelante.
Exacto. Pues mi amor, corazón, te voy a dejar. Te agradezco mucho que hayas venido. Que tengas buen día, que Dios te bendiga. Yo sé que vamos a estar en contacto. Te prometí que te iba a traer a la Plus y vamos para Japón. Cuando vaya.
No, sí, vamos.
Mi hijo tiene tu edad, más o menos. Y la esposa, son muy buena gente. Y yo he aprendido mucho de Japón cuando los voy y los visito. Ellos trabajan y me encanta estar sola, me voy y sin hablar japonés, ahí me defiendo. Con Bao y sonreír, ese es el lenguaje que está en el mundo, esto.
Sí.
Y you have a soft face and you smile and you just do the little few things of the culture that they need you to be polite. You don't need language.
Sí.
El lenguaje del corazón habla por ti.
Exactamente.
Pues Héctor, te dejo. Gracias, Super Hero, por venir. And keep up the good work defending the immigrants and our farm workers.
Es un honor, very humble.
Gracias y que Dios te bendiga, corazón.
Bueno.
Nos vemos pronto. Chao. Bueno, mi gente, gracias por acompañarme esta mañana en hacer Héctor Celtín bienvenido a mi casa. Espero que hayan disfrutado de esta charla y ahora los dejo para que continúen su domingo disfrutando de su familia y que la pasen lindo y llenos de bendiciones. Chao, chao. Hasta la próxima. Bye, bye.